Multimodality, to gain familiarity with and control over multiple modes of composition. Bingo the Begging Dog was our first attempt at multimodality in this class. I was saving images in iPhoto from the digital archives, using Picnic to edit, and presenting them on Prezi. In retrospect, I realized Prezi was not the best decision for this project. For our second digital media project, I chose to do a video about Ruby Estelle Acker, a teacher from Northeast Texas. This project was my favorite and I put the most effort into it. Multimodality is at work here in the following forms: iPhoto for still images, Picnic for editing, iMovie to create video format, music and voiceover, and YouTube for final presentation. As a display of all the information we have learned over the semester, each student was required to create a digital storytelling portfolio. I chose to elaborate on my second digital media project and present a website about East Texas teachers. This presentation was multimodality at its best. It incorporated my second digital media project, my YouTube presentation, slide shares, embedded books, interactive Google Maps, text, images, and embedded documents. Composing and communication technologies. Composing technologies to gain familiarity and increasing facility with a range of tools, software, and hardware useful in creating multimodal texts. Communication technologies to learn about and use contemporary communication technologies in a variety of settings and for a variety of purposes. Prezi defines itself as a cloud-based presentation software that opens up a new world between whiteboards and slides. The zoomable canvas makes it fun to explore ideas and the connections between them. The result? Visually captivating presentations that lead your audience down a path of discovery. I chose to use Prezi for my first digital media project because it was something I had never used before. It was modern and had excellent peer-to-peer sharing capabilities. In retrospect, I wouldn't have used it for this project because the project that I was doing required a little more simplicity, and the zooming effects of Prezi was a little distracting and almost nauseating at times. I decided to use iMovie for my second digital media project because the software was already present on my computer. This program was simple to operate and widely used, so I was able to find help online when needed. It is definitely something I will use again for home videos, gifts, and schoolwork. Due to its popularity, I was already familiar with YouTube, although I had never created an account or uploaded my own videos to it. I certainly have a better working knowledge of this tool and plan to use it in the future to share educational work and personal videos. Discovering Weebly, a free website publishing tool, has been invaluable. This site is simple to use and, best of all, free. I have already begun creating a pet-sitting site for my mother to use as a business page. In this modern world, websites are necessary for any successful venture or just to share something with others. Creative rights. To understand and effectively navigate the ethical considerations associated with creating and sharing multimodal texts. Copyright laws. As defined by the government, copyright is a form of protection provided by the laws of the United States to the authors of original works of authorship, including literary, dramatic, musical, artistic, and certain other intellectual works. Copyright laws do not apply to works in the public domain or if a work is determined to be fair use. Due to the educational nature of all our projects, anything we used fell into the realm of fair use. Despite that allowance, I made every effort to obtain permissions for any items I used that were not derived from our digital archives. The knowledge of fair use is essential in our right-click and save world. Bound by Law, a course text, was entertaining and useful in learning about creative rights. The public domain covers works published before 1923, U.S. government works, and expired or non-complying copyright. I was first able to claim public domain in my digital storytelling portfolio. A book of poems was published in 1916, as well as 2 images I obtained from Wikipedia. Like a good researcher, I still cited my sources. I chose to use a Creative Commons license for all of my projects. This protects my rights as a creator, but also allows my work to be shared and used by others. There is a growing unrest about outdated copyright laws that fail to keep up with our modern technological advances. Research methods. To expand research skills by engaging in primary and secondary research inside and outside the library. Undoing Local History, written by Carol Kamen, was immensely helpful in understanding the ins and outs of historical research. 2 valuable lessons I obtained from this book were: Being aware is what is important. We can then research broadly, consider all the angles, approach a topic from various viewpoints, tease out the meanings in the materials that come to us from the past. These are the cautions a local historian, any historian actually, must live with. Everything that men and women have written, touched, or made is a clue to the past. The Northeast Texas Digital Archives were used as the framework for this course. They provided students with the primary images and information for projects. By starting in the archives, students were then able to expand their research to secondary sources. Internet research has been a major function for this course, as it is for everyone in this technology-based world. Understanding what is fair use and public domain was a significant tool that we have learned. This type of research is pivotal. Researchers must use caution when engaging in internet research, striving to check their sources for accuracy. Collaboration, to develop abilities to work collaboratively in a variety of in- and out-of-class activities and settings. Discussion boards were our primary form of communication for this course. Other students provided insight into readings and assistance with questions. It was an excellent way to convey thoughts and questions so everyone could feel involved. Peer reviews were required of all major projects. I found these to be incredibly useful. Who better to critique your work than those it was meant for? There were a great deal of constructive criticisms and encouragement from everyone. Collaboration was used in my second digital media project as I interviewed Brenda Allen. This interview contributed to my work by making it rich with unique information. I was required to coordinate a time and place to meet and have pre-prepared questions to ask. Also on my second digital media project, I worked collaboratively with photographers online. I found relevant images and had to gain permission before using them. Each photographer was more than happy to allow me permission to use these photos as long as I gave them credit. This course has affected my understanding of writing by showing me that the web pages and photo essays that I was accessing are actually forms of writing, and they require enormous amounts of work and thought. As to an impact on my future writings, being raised in this internet-based world, I was severely unaware of intellectual property laws and the correct way to use items I find online in my work. Now I am aware not only of other people's rights online, but also my own. Engaging in thorough research is certainly something that I expanded on, as well as being introduced to some useful software and programs that I can use in the future and am already putting to use.